What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I am Mr. Straight Facts. Today, I was inspired by the women who stood up 10 toes down for themselves and for the possible thousands of other women. One of them actually said to, I guess it was Marjorie Taylor Greene, arrested him in the background behind the scenes. I don't think this was said in front of the camera because I watched most of that. That Epstein was violating women and young girls 3 a day for decades. It's even said that one of the girls that came out today was new. And I don't know if she came out later because I saw her by herself with her lawyer. So I don't remember that part of it. I saw this later on today. This young lady was assaulted by Jeffrey Epstein after he had his sweetheart deal. So like I said, after all these things have happened, when they got the sweetheart deal before from the judge, not the judge, but the lawyer or prosecutor, Acosta, right? After he gave them the sweetheart deal, that's when he was still serving his time, but being able to get out, was going out and harming girls. Still. I told you they're still out there. Jeffrey Epstein was not the only game in town. There are many more. And as you read Donald Trump's note, which is supposed to be released here by Epstein's estate, that note that he wrote, that we got the gist of it, they gave it to us, and then I broke it down as to what I perceive it to be, talking about that they were enigmas, him and Donald Trump, right? And that they had these wonderful secrets, which that's what he trafficked in, holding secrets for people. And a part of that secret was this pedo ring that he was running, Jeffrey Epstein. And Donald Trump, even one of the girls today said Donald Trump was his best friend, was so close that he had an 8x10 on his desk, and he had a strong brag about him and Donald Trump being buddies. There's many other people that have said this, but this is coming from one of the people that was inside that house and was assaulted and raped by this man. Repeatedly said that he consistently bragged about Donald Trump. We got other ones that said that she was brought to Donald Trump's hotel by Jeffrey Epstein, as if they just happenstance to pass his place and say, oh, let's go in. And he was bragging about him so much that she got groped right in front of Donald Epstein. Donald Trump groped her, hand on her upper extremities and all over the place, while Jeffrey Epstein was watching. And that when they went back downstairs after she had been assaulted, this punk ass didn't protect her. He got pissed off at her because she allowed him to do it, because he thought she was this strong-spirited person, because on the set where it's controlled that somebody should not be talking to her or treating her a certain way, she really got into people. So he took her up to Donald Trump to test and see if she can handle this type of predator. And when she couldn't, he was mad at it. We have the 13-year-old that filed the charges, but they ended up being dropped, or some judge did something. It's really vague in how it happened, but you can go online and find that she had the charges and dropped them. She was 13 and said that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, both of them, ganged up on her. And you can hear all the details of what she wrote. I don't know about you, but if a person comes up with details as a child and as a grown person remembers them, I'm sorry, you got to dig into that. You can't just be like just letting that shit go. And what they've been doing over and over and over again is letting this shit go. This shit is evaporated. Every time somebody brings it up, it evaporates. When he got arrested the first time, and it was rumored that Donald Trump is the one that ratted him out, because Jeffrey Epstein was going to rat Donald Trump out for doing dirty deals under the table with Russian oligarchs, buying property and selling it back to them for extraordinary amount of money to money launder. Do you put money laundering above what Donald Trump would do? Hell, he would buy properties and say it was worth trash, basically, million, 22 million or whatever. And then when he wanted to get it appraised to be sold or whatever, oh, it's 200 something million. I have this extravagant place. But when it came to taxes, oh, it's only worth $10 million. He did that shit forever to the tune of owing over $500 million, which they still say he's guilty, but won't charge him the money that he actually owes back the state. Again, somebody's covering up for this man. We used to think it was just luck. No, Donald Trump has got something on these people. There is no luckier man on the planet than Donald Trump. And before Jeffrey Epstein died, he was the luckiest man on the planet. Who gets a charge of hiring prostitutes underage? Who gets that? How can you hire an underage prostitute and get a smack on the wrist for that? Underage kids, 13, 14 years old, he got charged for that and spent like the same type of shit they're trying to do with Ghislaine Maxwell. Give her a sweetheart deal where she gets out of a prison and goes to this Club Fed place, which is rumored again that she can walk out anytime and come back in on certain days. I don't know that to be true. I heard that today in one of the news shows, and I was like, I didn't know that shit. Last I remember them saying anything about it was that she couldn't be in proximity to a dog because a dog is vulnerable, and she's the type of person that would harm a dog. But you would put her on the street so that she can go and harm children again? I mean, it makes no sense. None of this shit makes sense. And that's to a lot of these MAGA people. They keep on saying that, we need to find these people, but they don't want to put Donald Trump in any bad light. And I think they're doing that, and this is just my guess, because they're trying to get the information out. If they blame him for something, then they know he's going to close ranks. So they're slowly trying to say, well, I don't think it's Donald Trump. I think it's the people around him. It's not Donald Trump. And then you got even some, MSNBC, I think it was Ari or whatever his last name is. I can't remember his last name. It's Joe. I saw him today say some things to the point of when it was brought up by another person, a woman who also charges Donald Trump with doing, not Donald Trump, but charges Epstein for doing something. And she was saying it makes sense and stuff that he's like, well, there's no record that we know of that says Donald Trump has done anything. They're such pussies when it comes to saying something about Donald Trump. They're worried about losing every fortune they got. When it comes to people who are factual, fuck money. Sue me. You ain't gonna get shit out of me. Not a damn thing. The reality is this. I don't care how much money you have or how much you threaten to sue me. You won't get shit out of me but the truth. And I'm not going to sit here and hide the bullshit about, it's blaring in your face that Donald Trump was a part of this somehow, some way. It's blaring. What do you think it is that this man does not want you to know what the fuck went on with Jeffrey Epstein? What is it that this man keeps promising you shit and giving you the same old documents just repackaged? Here's a lot of documents. These are the same fucking pages, you dipshit. No. There's 3 more new pages. Heavily redacted. That's what you're talking about. Man, get out of here with that shit. Give them all the files. Then send you on all these fucking goose chases to try and find something. It turns out it ends nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. And why do they do this? Well, why do anybody else do anything that feels guilty? The name of this particular episode of my show is Trump has a guilty conscience. If he's not guilty of anything, then what the hell are you scared of, bruh? Release this shit and put people behind bars. Or at least show the video. If the women say they don't want their faces shown, then fine. But the people who were the criminals in the situation, oh no. You don't get to come out and say, don't use my face. Now fuck all that. We can discern whether you were in a compromising position or whether you was just sitting around drinking a cocktail. We can discern that. We know that your names are on the plane, the list on the plane. We get that. The photos of you in compromising positions, that's the part you're probably paying millions to this orange fuckhead to set him the fuck up. He was talking about throughout his whole campaign. Oh, we're going to get you that. We're going to get you that, because he knew that's what you guys wanted. Now he knows that you can't elect him again legally. He could try and break laws, and he think you guys are going to run with him. Hopefully you wake the fuck up before then, even though you ain't woke the fuck up in like a decade yet. But this man is trying his best to be a dictator, so he'll never be held responsible for any of the shit he does until he dies. And these Republicans and MAGAs who are protecting him, this shit is going to fall on your shoulders. This man never takes responsibility. But once he dies, Mike Johnson, once he dies, Russ Vogt, you guys are going to be held accountable for covering all this shit up, because it's going to come out. It's going to come out. And the fact that you tried to hide it, a coup to hide what the fuck happened, so you could protect your little orange fuck face, then that right there is going to get you in some trouble. That's why you're all here trying to change all these laws so that you don't get in trouble. Turn it into a dictatorship so you can have this old crusty dude or the new, crowning, country dude, JD Vance, who's had like 3 fucking names, different names in his life, has never really accomplished anything other than being a cuckold for Peter Thiel. Everything he's done for a couple years, and all of a sudden he's an experienced person by doing absolutely fucking nothing. He was a senator for almost 2 years or some shit like that. What did he pass? What did he write? Not a fucking thing. So he's not qualified for shit, but he becomes a vice president. And even there, this man has spent more time in these past 8 months on vacation and had the gall to say, what I've learned so far as me being vice president, I believe I can take over. What'd you learn? That you can travel around the world with a bunch of people and it costs millions of dollars for you and your family to travel, when it used to cost you just a few $1,000s or so for you to go somewhere? Now you got government shit just all over you, protecting you while you go on vacation. You have spent more time on vacation than you spent doing your fucking job. So what have you learned? That being a president, you really don't have to do shit. You just hand it over to Russ Vogt and people like that, and you just sit your ass there and go and talk to somebody. Oh, let me travel to India and talk to them about something while I'm on vacation with my family. Oh, let me travel to this other country. Almost everything, just like anything else. When you get around this dude, something dies. The Pope died after meeting this stupid ass dude. And he talks about, I can be able to take over, I believe, I'm ready for it, what I've learned so far that I've been in office. You've learned nothing. You've learned that white men will pay your way to get whatever the hell you want in life. Because there is nothing you've done to accept. You can look at other people who are congressmen and women and senators. They have done 1,000,000 times more than this man has done in the past year and a half when he was in the House. I think he was a Senate ass. He was in the Senate. This dude was nothing. Nobody. Ask him what he did while he was in office. And then ask him what he's done since he's been vice president. When they say stuff like that, it kills me how reporters don't come back at him and say, so you've been on vacation for 7 months out of the like 8.5 that you've been president. What have you done since you've been here? We want to know. What did you pass? What did you do? Never. They never question these people. They ask them stupid fucking questions, then move on. And I'm like, ask him what he's done. When he said he's learned so much that he could take over, what did you learn? Kristen, didn't you ask that? What did you learn? Nope. You're a better reporter than that. Anchor, whatever you want to call yourself, you're better than that. Your question was terrible. You should have dug deeper. But this surface level bullshit you guys go through. Ari was going at one Democrat, and I'm trying to remember, I think it was the head of the DNC today. And he was trying to go in on him. I guess it's this thing about trying to be a fair arbiter of journalism and all that shit. And I get the fact that Democrats are going through things. But if you've really done your homework and asked some Democrats, why the hell do they have a problem with the Democrat Party? It isn't because we have a problem with them morally. We have a problem with them standing up to a devilish, demon-like Republican Party that will lie, cheat, and steal. And they always trying to act like they don't do some of that same shit, but try to act like, oh, well, we can't just, do that. We're going to take it to the courts. I said, no, you need to do some of the shit that they do back to them. It's tantamount of if somebody walks up to you and slaps the fucking taste out your mouth, you turn around and say, you know what? I'm going to go and get a lawyer for that. No, turn around and bust that fool right in the eye. That's what we want. He slaps you in the mouth, take his left eye out. That's what we talking about. And that's what we don't see in the Democratic Party. Instead, they're talking about writing strong fucking letters. They're standing behind taking pictures, trying to hide and shit in an AIPAC video or AIPAC photo. All trying to hide. You know who you are, sir. You guys are feckless. You don't fight. I remember that Jamal guy. I forgot his last name. That dude fought. I saw him going toe-to-toe with a Republican, calling him a coward for these kids getting shot in the schools and them not doing anything about it. He had that type of strength. Jamal was the one. He was there to do anything and everything, and he was ready to fight, even if it meant jumping across the aisle and popping one of them right in the fucking throat. Because I'm sick and tired of you guys backing down. I'm sick and tired of you guys, oh, I wrote a strong letter. I mean, to even say that, I wrote a strong letter. Tell me, what the fuck was you supposed to accomplish with that? He was going to read it? You know this fool don't even read. He's going to read it and feel bad about what you said to him. Dude, just pack it up, leave. It's long gone are the strong letters. Who do you think you are, George Washington? This shit happened a long, long time ago. Writing strong letters don't do shit. Absolutely nothing. You guys get, and this is about the Democrat, you guys seriously act like you for something, and then 2 months down the road, you're the complete opposite. Cory Booker stood up for hours, broke the record. Next thing you know, he's in an AIPAC video hiding. I don't want them to see me. I know y'all give me money. 10 toes down, the next day you floating on air. You ain't got one toe down. You're dipping your little pinky toe in. You be like, what the fuck? How can you be so back and forth? Stand 10 toes down for the people, and you got us. Now, here's the messed up part about it. If you are a person who lives in this country, you know it's a two-party country. Independents are irrelevant. Greenpeace and all that, you guys are irrelevant. I'm sorry, you can go ahead and be in those parties all you want. You're irrelevant. There's nobody voting in that area that will ever be in the president or vice president. They might pull somebody to be a vice president one day in history, but you ain't becoming president. Not unless this country takes a huge dive in another direction, but they're not. So you waste your vote. You go out there and chit chat about shit. And the thing that kills me is only during elections do you guys fight for this shit that you want. Greenpeace and libertarian. And only during elections, you guys sit there and talk about shit. Only during elections. After that, you don't hear nothing about you. Ain't no march about what you're saying. One of you, the Miriam lady or Marianne, she out there smoking pot somewhere, just having a good old time. She done fucked up the Democrat Party. She goes off about her way. Jill Stein, she's somewhere hanging out with Putin, pie sucking on his left nut. She's over there trilling out and shit while y'all sit here and have no more arguments until the fucking next presidency. Don't stand up and do nothing. Don't march. Don't do shit. Just disrupt. And while everybody's life is being fucked up right now, you sit back and bitch and moan. You were a part of it. So, Ari, when you talk to these Democrats or the Democrat leaders, understand, we're not pissed at them because of what you think. The shit that you was trying to say on your show today, talking about, oh, you guys are winning, but I said, dude, get rid of that shit. You guys are always trying to cause some kind of division in our party. The unity around us is that we want democracy. Fuck all that other side bullshit. These are your side chicks. Our main chick is democracy. Fuck the side chicks right now. Or the side dudes, whatever it is in your life. Fuck them. It's time to deal with the main one, and that is democracy. Only within democracy can you get the hopes and dreams of the American dream back. You ain't getting it back by bitching and moaning about every little fucking object. You're just like, if you've made that movie Up, when the dog is a squirrel, couldn't keep his mind focused on shit. That's what you guys act like. Can't keep your mind focused on shit. Squirrel. I'm like, well, we're over here, bro. No, squirrel. I'm like, we over here. Democracy. Get the fuck off your mind. Gaza, what can we do with Gaza? Cannot do anything for Gaza. I can send you money, but where the fuck is going to go? We got to fix democracy. And then on top of that, we got to fix the power that America has. Did you not see North Korea, China, and guess what? Donald Trump, the dude that you love to square off and kiss his ass, was over in another country kissing the leader, Xi, of China's ass like you were, shaking his hand and touching him and shit. That motherfucker didn't touch you. He was all over Z. So as you try and be a leader, other countries are over there bowing their heads to China as you throw on some little weak-ass tariffs. Do some tariffs on India so that they can't sell Russian oil or whatever the fuck it is. And here it is, India, China, Russia, having a good old party without your orange ass. Showing that they're leaders and you're a dipshit. You guys are being pushed away from leadership. Every country. I saw a video today of a person who has meetings and relationships from the United States with China, with Russia, with India, and other countries. They're world travelers in this, and to deal with leaders, and of course, they're equivalent to leaders in that country. I'm not sure if they deal with the actual president and the dictators and all that, but they asked a question. You may have saw this video. They asked a question about, what do you think about America? And these answers came back from all of them. America's weak. America who? They have really no power. They just, with Donald Trump as the leader, they don't trust America. And you have to understand something, people. They don't trust America, and they're starting not to trust Americans, okay? Because again, we got a small section of this country that are unified. Republicans fall in line. Democrats have to fall in love. That's their line, not ours. That's a Republican line. They fall in line. As you notice, they say they don't agree with shit, but they continue to vote along party lines. Democrats have a mind. They're smart, and they think about, well, this could happen and that could happen. I really need this to happen. And we are all over the place. So we got factions all over the place that are fucking up the idea of what we can do. And they've learned, Russ Vogt and all them, they learned with Project 2025. You guys toe the line, and life is going to be good for Republicans from here on out. Go through the hell for right now. All the dictator shit they're going to say, keep going. I'm telling you, the end of the rainbow, you're going to be wealthy and more powerful than Democrats will never be in leadership again. You'll get whatever the hell you want. Just keep towing the line. Republicans toe that fucking line. Democrats be like, I don't know about that. That sounds like a dictatorship. Republicans don't care. They are the enemy of this damn country, and they're running it. If you don't think they're the enemy, why the hell every country can't stand us? We're supposed to be the great uniter. We're trying to divide ourselves from every country and become like one country of its own. I don't care how many fucking nukes you got. If it's just going to be you fighting the rest of the world, we done lost. We're going to nuke the whole country? The whole world? No, it ain't going to happen. What country is by our side? What country thinks that we are doing shit right? They've alienated every fucking country. Our allies are pissed at us for all these tariffs. And what reason? America was doing well. Our stocks was going up. Donald Trump is the one that took them way down, and then they realized this dude is a taco. He never goes through with anything. So then they just start doing things as usual. So our stocks started going back up, not because of Donald Trump, but because they ignore Donald Trump. When he says some shit, they don't listen. They keep moving. It's almost as if it's baked in that they can't trust what he's going to do. It is just for the rest of us to have this type of fear while rich people keep making money. We're holding on to ours. They're spending theirs and buying up shit because we are the ones that they're using. Every time they fuck over Americans and we sit here and be like, we think it's somebody else. Somebody we point fingers. No, these leaders are literally effing us over while telling their party, oh, look what we're doing for you. How are they doing it for you when most of you guys are losing your farms and having to sell cattle and shit to pay bills and all this other shit? How is that helping you? This idea of white power in the future? It's one of the most dumbest things ever. Why do you believe somebody who won't even pay his bills? Donald Trump is rich because he rips people off. Tell me what product this man really makes is of quality that you keep buying. Donald Trump sells junk. He sells a feeling. These people get excited about him and gold shoes. Then next thing you know, these 399 gold shoes, he's giving away for free, 2 for 1. And that one is like $35, and that's too much. Damn shoe ain't worth more than $1. Now he's into Bitcoin and meme coins and all this shit like that. He don't care about none of that. All he cares about is you guys spending your money, putting it in his pocket. And with these particular things of currency, it goes to zero once he sells it. If he decided, you know what, I'm going to sell my 5 billion that I got on it, I'm just going to sell it. It's worth trash then. You lost every dime you put in it. And trust me, he's going to pull his money out before this shit crashes. And every dime you put in it is going to be gone. You got money on there now. Oh, I got like 1.2 million on there. As soon as he messes up and take this shit off, your shit going to shoot to zero overnight. Rip-off artist. Always has been. So how do you believe him or why do you believe him? I don't get it. But that's on you. That's why I would never put money behind anything this fool does. Not even for a short, limited time. Because who wants to put their lives on the line for somebody who lies, cheats, been accused of sexual assault, and one judge literally says you can call it rape. So he's been accused of rape and charged with it to the tune of $80-something million. And you have a question that him and Jeffrey Epstein being together, that somehow Donald Trump's an innocent figure in all of that. What evidence do you have that this man is innocent in anything? 34 felonies, guilty of it. Everything he's been charged with, he's fucking guilty of. All you got to do is take him to court. I guarantee the 13-year-old girl who said to Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, if she had stuck through with it, he would have been found guilty of it. I have no doubt. There is nothing that this man's been charged with that turned out to be fake. The Russia stuff, it wasn't no hoax. It was real. It was just that he was a president. They couldn't charge him with anything. So they came out and just basically said, well, you know, it's not legal, but, you know, he's a president. So we got this little note that says we can't charge presidents. So we just let it be. That's not exoneration. That's saying that we have allowed our president to be above the law. Whoever wrote that note is trash in history. You're just a trash human being. Because that note allows them to be above the law. I think, personally, I don't care how powerful you are, the president is found guilty of something, he should be able to be put on trial, and the vice president should be moved up to the president so that they know they're not above the law. But the way this country works, they put people above the law. And it's usually white men. Usually. Because that's normally who's been president and vice president for the most part. Billionaires too, millionaires. And we've allowed it, Americans. We've allowed that. But like I said before, these countries hate us. They can't trust us. And we think it's just the politicians, but you got to think about it. The Americans are voting these people in. They knew and we knew Donald Trump was trash the first time he was president. And they knew once Biden came in that America was back on the right footing and it was a power to be reckoned with. We were moving along. They respected America again. And then we allowed this shit to get back into office. How can you trust a country that flip-flops? In a matter of 4 years, they forgot that he was an insurrectionist. They forgot that he grabs women by their vaginas. He kisses them and walks up to them. They forgot this shit. That's a reprimand on us too. Because even though we fought for it, we couldn't pull through because why? Democrats are easily divided. Ari, why don't you just talk about that? The division amongst the Democrat Party. We're stronger, we're bigger, but we don't have a bigger portion of our party. See, they got 30%, or better yet, their entire Republican Party goes behind what Republicans want. 97% of the time. That 2% is when they sway. Democrats, we ain't 90% shit. We got far liberals fighting over shit. We got Nancy Pelosi's holding back the AOCs. All this bullshit in the middle because Democrats want a big tent. Having a big tent means we are divided as fuck and we get shit barely done. If Democrats could find the wherewithal to be solidified in their choice and then fight amongst what we need once we're elected, we'd win every time. Republicans would never win again. Would never win. How can you win when there's more registered Democrats? And if we're solidified on the fact that we love democracy, and when we get in, we can fight amongst all the bullshit, then we could win every time. Numbers just beat numbers. Republicans can vote all day long. All of them could vote for one person. They would lose if we would unify around the fact of democracy and stop going around. There's no reason anybody should have voted for Jill Stein. Not one. There's no reason anybody should have voted for that Miriam lady. Not one. But we got stupid people in our party too that vote for people based because they make them feel good, but they don't pay attention to the bills they want to pass, anything. Nobody's going to pass anything that Jill Stein's ever said in her fucking life. Nobody's going to pass it. So why you put somebody in office that's never going to get shit done that you bitching and moaning for? It's all compromise. And you can't get somebody in that's so far over here or so far over here and think they're going to fucking come up with the same plan. It's just not going to happen. So you got to figure out what can we work in between. But who knows? The Democrat Party may have to go through its own like Tea Party situation. Whereas we just come unified around issues and agree on some things and agree to disagree on others. But I'm getting tired of the far right of our party winning. I'm getting tired of that shit. The far left has some good ideas that can help people. And there's a way to fund things that isn't socialism. It's opportunist. And I don't mean it in a bad way. Giving people opportunity is what's going to lower crime. Giving people jobs and living wages is what's going to lower crime. And also give people opportunities to have better health because they can afford the doctors and they can afford the better food for themselves, that they don't have to go buy cheap shit all the time to stay alive or just to eat and be, it's just so much. The difference that sets us is the value of whatever we want to do in life. Like, where do we have quality food at? If you're poor, quality food for you is still going to probably be the worst food that you could possibly eat. You're just throwing lettuce in it, tomatoes in it, still bad. That non-knowledge, that non-opportunity, that survival mode and not thriving, all that shit, the far right, far left, that's what they want. Let's find a way to solve that. Then the far right side of our party, in the Democrat Party, is pretty much a mild Republican. You can pick yourself up by your own bootstraps. Where? There are no boots. There's no straps. Where do I go from there? And for those who do have it, they only have it temporarily from month to month. Let something happen and boom. Their career, everything out the window. Let a company just cut back on 100 jobs. You got families on the street in 2 to 3 months. We got a faction like that in our party that don't care about those people. Say they do, but don't. The Joe Manchins, the Christian Cinnamon, and these people who have left them as of yet, rather. But they were here before. And we're going to get more of those people in. The one lady with the acne and shit in the Republican Party now, she was a Democrat. And look how crazy she is now. She was that crazy in the Democrat Party. Again, we let everybody in this fucking tent and don't vet them. Many of them are batshit crazy. And we sit here and allow them to lead without knowing where they really stand. So Americans, we're going to have to start vetting the people. We're going to start vetting the people that we want to lead. We got to start vetting them, because there's no way in hell we're going to sit here and allow people to get into office and do nothing that we ask for. And that's because we're not unified, and we need to find some unity within our party, some things that we can agree, some things that we can agree to disagree. We know we're not going to get everything, but choose 3 good things that we all want. I want democracy. That's where we have to build that foundation. We have been getting bombed, nuked with this Republican crap of dictatorship, that we're over here in rubble, third world type rubble in the Democrat Party in this country as American citizens. They are bombing the Constitution left and right, behind the scenes, just destroying it. Within the country, there is a war going on, and Democrats don't know it. Some of them are speaking up on it, but again, it's this timid speaking. While Republicans are out there throwing bombs at us, at the Constitution, at democracy. And we're sitting around here, well, I don't know what it necessarily means. Then study here history and realize, you see what the fuck they're doing? What are you waiting for it to happen to finally say, oh, well, I guess they were going toward a dictatorship? I thought we were the learned ones, Democrats. I thought we were the one who did our homework. You still got Democrats out here that won't call Donald Trump baby Hitler, because they keep on thinking of Hitler and Holocaust. They both start with H, but they're not the same fucking thing. Holocaust and Hitler came later. Hitler came first. And what Donald Trump is doing is the exact same shit as Hitler did at the very beginning. So I'm getting tired of people, Democrats, trying to appease other Democrats. Fuck them. Trying to appease Republicans and centrists. Fuck them. Tell the fucking truth. We're not here to sugarcoat shit so somebody feels good. Tell the truth, and you wrap your ass around that. And if you can't handle it, then get the fuck out of the kitchen. The truth is the truth. Hitler started by calling news fake news. Donald Trump did what? When he first got in, news was fake news. Alternative facts. Just hearing alternative facts should make you want to fucking hurl. The fuck is an alternative fact? I got a different fact that's still fact. No, there's one fact, then there's bullshit and propaganda. Your propaganda became fact. Then you got a propaganda wing, just like Hitler did. Turned all of the media, or at least one of the medias at the time, into his propaganda wing. That's Fox. Tell me where we differing here. If that ain't baby Hitler, what the fuck is it? Who else is it? It's the same shit. Keep going down the line and you'll find tit for tat. Hitler did something, Trump has done something. Hitler did something, Trump has did something. Same shit, no difference. So tell me, where does it cross the line over to Hitler, Democrats who are feckless and can't say this shit out loud? Even though I did see one recently say it. And then the other Democrat came out, was like in the same show, well, I don't want to go there. Shut up. Don't ever elect, boy, if I had his name, I'm like, don't ever elect that fool into any kind of office. It's a Latin dude. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Get out. I'm tired of you guys playing this fence shit. Well, I'll piss off AIPAC if I do it. Fuck AIPAC. Fuck about them. We're the American citizens. They're not a fucking American citizen. Just because they give you money, you should not turn on your country because you see dollar signs. They have an interest for their fucking country. And we should have one for ours. Ours is just accept money whenever somebody gives it to us and walk and toe the line and say whatever the fuck they want you to say. I'm not a person that's going to run around and repeat some garbage that some party told me to say. I'm going to tell you the fucking truth. And if you're pissed off at me, fuck you and your whole lineage. I don't care about you like that. I care about American people. I don't care about liars and cheats. I don't care about you whatsoever. Fuck off and die for all I care. I can't stand you. 10 toes down, I can't stand liars and cheats and people who turn their back and say one thing and do another. I can't stand you with everything in my body. Because what's the purpose? To lie and cheat on somebody, whatever. You don't care about them. So why the hell are you electing people that lie to you in your face? Even Republicans years ago, you should have recognized when they had them on air. I forgot which one it was. But one of the Republicans, and I want to say it was Ted Cruz, but it might have been somebody else, but all of them kind of did it. They said it's okay to lie to you on the news because I'm not under oath. Say what? So your determination of lying to the American people, having them think that they're going one direction, they're going the opposite. But when you are held in the court of law and your hand up to the Bible or to God or whatever you got it on, and you pledge that you're going to tell the truth, you'll tell the truth. But I don't owe you the truth. And it was more than one. I remember Jim Jordan saying it. You don't owe the truth. You owe us the truth. What the fuck we putting you in power for? You're going to lie to us. And then all of a sudden you got to go and have your hand on the Bible and swear in before you tell the fucking truth. The same shit you're telling the courts or anybody else should be the same shit you're telling the American citizen who elected your ass. If they're not the same, what the fuck are you in office for? I don't get this shit. Why are we electing people that won't tell the truth? That should be something that we ask. If I ask you something, you going to tell me the truth? Say, yeah, okay. Ask you a question. If you shade that shit any way other than the fucking truth, get out. Get out. I don't want to hear it. Go. Get out. Who wants that shit? I'm tired of it. I'm ready to draw the line on lying. If you're going to lie, I don't care if it does make you look bad. Then don't do it. You don't have to put yourself in a bad situation. Don't do it. And if you do it, be man enough and woman enough to accept your responsibility for what the fuck you did. Yeah, I said this. Yeah, I did that. That's what I meant. Or it may have meant something else. But be truthful about it. That's all we asking. It ain't even hard. Telling the truth is easy. How the hell is that hard? Hard is trying to get away from poverty and find your way to middle class. That shit's hard. Asking me to tell you what exactly fucking happened ain't hard. You make it hard. Because deep in your spirit, you so fucking demonic that you can't tell the truth. Like you're going to melt or some shit like the wicked witch. All you're going to do is feel free from telling the truth. But you want to get over on people. So lying helps you get there. Lying about everything helps you become important to somebody. But you're standing on lies, shifting soil. Eventually, you're going to get caught. These young ladies came out today and said their piece. Behind the scenes, they said more, but in front of the camera, they said enough. I, for one, believe them. All I need are names. And I know at first when they said they're going to give no names, I was kind of like, what? But then at the same time, I had to dig a little deeper and say, wait a minute, I'm not there to protect them. And so far, they haven't felt protected or even listened to. So take baby steps. Allow them to come out and say what they got to say. And in due time, when they start to feel free and they see that we got their backs, I got your backs, ladies. I got your backs 1,000,000%. I'm going to start making content that I'm going to put on my other platforms and possibly this one too, just in support of them. I want them to know a massive amount of people care about you and want you to come out, and whomever did this to you or any of these supporters, fuck them and their whole family. Because these should not be secrets. These should be out in the open. It's time to set these ladies free. They've been in prison for decades now. And these horrible human beings have been able to walk around this country with gobs of money, getting on yachts, having fun, doing it to other kids. And what I found out today, I don't know if you guys found out, if you read it or not. What I found out today is that they aren't all American citizens. They were traveling around the globe doing this. That blew my mind. I didn't even think about that shit. I was just thinking American. You hear me? That's all I was. I was thinking American. I was fighting for my peoples, my American people. No matter what race, color, or creed, I was fighting for these babies. Then I find out they were doing this shit in Russia, China, and other countries. And I'm like, huh. No wonder Donald Trump is kissing the ass of Putin. They got people in Russia that Epstein has done this to, and he has trafficked people from all over the world. He's brought them from Russia here to Italy back. He did it all over the world. This was a globe-trotting international thing. No wonder this man was rich. He was getting money from every rich person all over the fucking planet. He had pictures of people from Saudi Arabia. He had pictures. You remember seeing that wall of pictures? It was on a desk, but all these pictures, and Donald Trump was there. Steve Bannon was behind him on the far right with him as well. You had some kind of sheik or somebody from the Middle East sitting to the left of him of Donald Trump's photo. You had Ghislaine Maxwell, Donald Trump. But Ghislaine Maxwell was cut out of the picture. It was just Donald Trump and his wife, Melania, and Jeffrey Epstein. Those aren't even all the pictures, ladies and gentlemen. A lady came out today, one of the girls who got, pedoed by Donald Trump, by Jeffrey Epstein. Take that back. Said that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were in an 8x10 photo on Jeffrey Epstein's desk. Now, I done told y'all more than once. I am a straight man. Doesn't matter if I'm straight or gay, but I'm just saying, I'm a straight man. I have never in my life took a picture with the homie and set it on my desk. I ain't got no disdain for my boys. I love my boys. People that I grew up with, my homies, I love them like they're brothers. They family to me. I do not have a picture, especially an 8x10, of me and them just sitting there with our hands out. You ain't seen that shit nowhere. Where did the picture go? Something happened here. I got disconnected somehow. That was really weird. My picture went away. But you ain't never seen that. I didn't even touch a button. I'm glad I'm still on. You guys still see me, right? Make sure you guys still see me, see if I'm still connected. I'll wait till somebody responds because I don't know how that came back up. Somebody says, as long as I can hear you. It's been for a minute that my picture's been going, huh? You do now. Good. That was weird. I didn't touch nothing. My hands was up the whole time. I don't know. I don't think I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But Donald Trump, like they said, all over the world, they were doing this shit. All over the world. So the question is, if it's all over the world they've been doing this, there's probably thousands upon thousands of these people. It was going on for well over 20 years? Probably longer than that. We just don't know about all of it. Because 2008 is when I believe he got caught the first time. But that's when he got caught. And that's been a little bit under 20 years now. 3 years under 20, so what, 17 years? He was doing it for a long time before he got caught. So we're probably looking at probably 30 years of this man doing this shit. Do you know, they said, like, again, 3 women or girls, because he mixed them together. But young girls, young women, and girls. 3 a day for decades. They said decades, so I don't know how long, 2, 3 decades, I don't know. But 2 or 3, that's a lot of women, a lot of girls, a lot of babies hurt by this man. It's just insane. Sorry you guys didn't see me. I don't know how long that was up, but that's okay. We'll go into it in a second. So there was a huge pressure campaign today and yesterday because they knew that these women were coming out to speak. I never thought in a gazillion years that me and Marjorie Taylor Greene would agree on some shit. I was questioning. I was like, how in the world, God, did I agree with this woman, or she agree with me? Because she had to come my direction. I always agreed this way. How is this woman coming this way? I accept it, but I'm just shocked. Because even, you know what's so tripped? Even in her support, she's still delusional. In her support, she's still delusional. How? There's levels to this shit. There's levels to this type of stupidity. I'm like tripping. You're going to see a video of all this. I took like video clips from every place, if you didn't get a chance to see it today, but in an interview, and also some shit that kind of juxtaposes Donald Trump and his craziness too, his BS. But let's just start with the pressure that came today. This is one of the things that came up, and I'm glad you can still see me because I don't know what. Again, I fixed the camera stuff yesterday. I think it was getting hot, so I bought a fan for it today. But let me get this picture set up real quick for y'all so y'all can see it. Uh-oh. All right. Make sure it's there. It may not show up, but if you see this white screen next to me in my space, it is what it is. I'm trying to set it up right now, but it may not have my face on it, but that's okay. It is what it is. Technical difficulties all the time, it seems like, for me. Yeah, that picture's gone. But still, let's just look at it. You got my audio. Right here, you see the Epstein accusers get pressure from Congress to release the files. They said helping Thomas Massie. This is Republicans got together, helping Thomas Massie and liberal Democrats with their attention seeking, while the DOJ is fully supporting a more comprehensive file release effort from the Oversight Committee, would be reviewed as a very hostile act to the administration, a White House official said. Let's get back to me. I don't know why that's not working. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. How is it a hostile act to give these women voice? How is that a hostile act? I mean, I really want to know how, after all these decades, these babies have grown into very wonderful, brilliant, beautiful, talented women, but they've been in pain and been in silence and been harassed. They've been doxxed. They have been threatened. All that shit. While the dudes who did this roam this earth rich and happy. And they get a voice. And we're proud of them coming out. We believe them. Virginia unalived herself because it was just too much. And there have been other women who have too, which I learned today. I didn't know that much about the other women. There have been other women who have had the same issue, who have unalived themselves. They couldn't take it. It's time for us to be behind them 1,000%. I'm 10 toes down behind them. I don't think of any woman that would put herself in this position for what? Money? You're going to go through hell for money. For possible promise for money. You're going to have people like these MAGA nut jobs out here sending you stuff and doxing you and putting your kids in type of situations threatening your husband, your children, your family members, and shit like that. You're gonna go through all that for a possibility of a what, class action suit? Most class action suits, if there's too many of y'all, the shit's like, well, we sued for 30 million. I got $17.85. You gonna do that? I don't believe it. I just don't. Of course, I want to see the facts, but them saying what happened, then let the people that they accuse, let them come forth and say it didn't happen. You got a right to defend yourself. Accusation, fight for it. That's all that needs to be done. But to hide it, you know how powerful this is. You know how rich these people are, and you know how connected they are. Donald Trump knows who did this. Pam Bondi knows who did these things. Cockeyed Cash Patel knows who did these things. Dan Bongino, who's missing. Like, where in the world is Dan Bongino? This dude, where you at? You hiding. Your ass has been around talking mad shit for years. And now that this shit comes out, where you at? We haven't seen you in the media nowhere. I believe you know something. I believe you either scared of the people that you're working for, and you had all this bravado and this manliness and all this alpha male type of shit that you was portraying, and right now you straight bitch. You ain't standing up for nobody. The women just came out and said what they had to say. Where's Dan Bongino's response to that? Huh? You been waiting for it? You was talking about it on your podcast, like I'm sitting here just talking about it all the time. Where's it at? Your face was getting all red, your big 17-pound forehead, all that shit. You was sitting there. Now, where? You quiet, church mouse. Why? Because you know shit that's got your ass flipped out. So much so that you can't get in front of the camera and support Donald Trump, but you can't get your little punk ass out there and fight for the women either. So why are you even around, bro? Why don't you just pack it up and go to another country and enjoy your life, the rest of what you got left? Who's going to believe you? You sat here and fought all this time, bitching and moaning, making millions off of these MAGA people. And now that you found out and can't handle it, you quiet as a church mouse. Missing in action, Jay. Missing in action. Dude ain't been on the camera. Before, he was traveling on Fox left and right. Him and Cockeyed Cash Patel were like girlfriend and boyfriend, hooked at the hip. And now you can't find this fool. You don't see him nowhere. You ain't seen TMZ ain't caught him. CNN ain't caught him. He got to go to work, right? They replaced him to do his job. What they got him? You might want to check on him. He may not be alive still. We don't know what's up with this dude. Because Mr. Big Mouth was always out here talking. But remember, I tell you, look, I can read people's faces a lot of times. When him and Cockeyed Cash Patel was on the Fox News, you can see it, where they sit there and said that Jeffrey Epstein unalived himself. They looked like they had just vomited before they got on set. You remember this attitude? They was all amped up and all this energy. Now they got on suits and just sitting there like robots. Now that they know that their Orange King is somewhat a part of this shit. Whether he did what the 13-year-old girl accused him of, or he knew about it the entire time and did nothing about it. Either way, it's horrific. And these guys know Donald Trump's name is all over this. Where's the whistleblower yet? That was one of the 24-hour people working trying to find his name. Where's that whistleblower? Why don't you bring your ass out and say something? Grow some balls or whatever you got. If you're a woman, grow something and say something to one of these reporters. Get it out. Protect the women. But you're trying to protect power. And they always say, oh, well, this happened way back when Obama was president and Biden didn't turn him in. I don't blame the president of these two, but if they did, no, I do blame them. But under them, it is assumed because we have gone on different types of waters. Under them, the president is not made aware of anything like this unless it's going to be charged. They're not asked and say, Mr. President, we find some things to be wrong with what this happening in pedophilia stuff, and we want your decision on whether we should be able to charge them or not. That's not how this works. That's how it works under Donald Trump, because he wants to be a dictator. Donald Trump is not made aware of everything that the FBI, CIA, and DOJ is making a decision on. He should not be. That's not his job. Now, if it has to deal with anything like with America's, like our soil being like, we got a terrorist. Oh yeah, you got to know that. But they're every day to day, they're independent offices. FBI, CIA, DOJ, independent. The president is not made aware of every case. Because if you are, and you may have some kind of conflict of interest, would you want the president knowing about something in which he may be charged for? Nope. But somehow Pam Bondi found her little cockeyed ass too, because she got one eye that kind of goes to the left. That chick goes and tells him, your name's in it. That alone should be an issue. That right there should be somewhat of a chargeable offense. How do you notify somebody who could possibly be one of the people who assaulted women? And you go and tell the dude that could possibly be Jeffrey Epstein Jr., you tell him about it, and then all of a sudden everything goes haywire once she tells him. She tells him about it, and then, well, we don't need to get those files anymore. You must be stupid if you want those files. We still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? After he was told his name was in it, everything went haywire. Did she not know she fucked up when she told him? Did she not know that she was not supposed to tell him anything, especially if his name is mentioned? You don't tell a possible criminal that he's possibly going to get investigated if we continue down this line of getting these files. That alone is a conflict of interest. She should be fired for doing that. Impeached of some sort. She should not be in a position, if she finds out somebody's in her party that's party of this, or may have some information that she can get out of. I mean, the thing, she should never have brought anything. She should have brought a lawyer with her if she was going to question him, and told him to come somewhere to be questioned if she's going to follow this the way it should be followed. But no, this lady warned him that his names were in it, and then had 24 hours, a crazy amount of federal workers, 24 hours searching through these files to find his name and to notify him what the fuck context it was that his name was in these things. This is not about protecting a president. These are supposed to be protecting the victims. And soon after, this man has his lawyer, Todd Blanche, go interview the woman in which took part in raping these young girls, and asked the stupid questions, and never had any kind of rebuttal to anything she said. Everything she said, he just let sit, even though it was a lie. And prior to this interview, he told her, you cannot lie to the FBI and any kind of force. If you do, you can be charged with more crimes. She sat there and lied, and he had no pushback. 9 hours of her lying to him. There's evidence to prove the shit that she said. She got charged with it, ladies and gentlemen. She still has not admitted that she did it. And these brave women came out today and literally said, I don't know why, and we hope that he don't give her a pardon, but why in the world was she changed to basically the club fed when she did these horrible things to me? We're going to have a little bit of the testimony of what these wonderful women got a chance to put their voice out there today. And without further ado, we're going to end up doing that. And hopefully I can get this thing to work just so that it doesn't mess up my my shot here. Hold on. There we go. There we go. We'll hear their voices.
That I ever speak publicly about what happened to me. The only reason that I am here is because it feels like the people who matter in this country finally care about what we have to say.
He abused not only me, but countless others, and everyone seemed to look away. The truth is, Epstein had a free pass.
It's time for us to see beyond the curtain. Why was Jeffrey Epstein so protected? Who is still being protected? And who protected them all?
This is a crime, the crime of sex trafficking, and the criminals must be held accountable. Disbelieving survivors creates a culture of silence. There is strength in numbers, and our courage is contagious.
I was 16 years old when I was flown to New Mexico to spend a weekend with Epstein.
I was only 14 years old when I met Jeffrey.
I was only 14 years old when I was introduced to Jeffrey Epstein by a 13-year-old friend of mine.
Listen to that. 16. This lady right here says she was 14 years old, but she was introduced by a 13-year-old, which means the 13-year-old had to already be brainwashed and done this to a number of times before they brought their friends in on it. So how old was the 13-year-old when it happened? Was she in this for a year? 2? How long did he do it to her before he asked for another girl? 14 brought in by a 13-year-old.
I was only 14 years old when my friend brought me over to Jeffrey Epstein's house.
I was a 16-year-old high school student athlete who made good grades and had high aspirations for college when I was recruited and asked by a classmate of mine.
We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details on that. Because history is watching, and so are the women who will come after us.
Brave women to come out and say what they said. Their truth. And we should support their truth. Unless these men have other evidence to prove otherwise, but release the documentation. You know what really got me? All of this gets me, but what got me by listening to them, because I've never been a victim of anything like this, so I got to try and wrap my head around it and understand it. I always tell you guys to visualize what these children must have seen for the very first time, seeing a male body part, for the very first time, having intercourse in their virgins, for the very first time, these things happening to them in a horrific way. How do you move on with life and get a healthy relationship when every man is basically a pedo to you? Even though they're not, you have those flashbacks, PTSD, different things of that nature. And what shocked me when they talked today, some of them talked today, was that, they still had to move on in life after this, and how it bruised them in their entire lives. It's like, again, some of them have unalived themselves, and they already have contacted hundreds of these women that they've gathering this list. And it's assumed that there's thousands because they're all over the world. I didn't even grasp all of this until they spoke today and how much in pain they were still. How this man had these 13-year-old and 14-year-olds go get their friends to do the same thing. And how Ghislaine Maxwell took part in many of them. One lady said Ghislaine Maxwell was in the room the entire time. She is the one that made her take her shirt off and all these other things. She's the one that said that basically you got to massage. This one said, let me get it right, that Ghislaine Maxwell had the girl massage her first. and was like, oh yeah, you're good, gassing her up. Oh, you're good, yeah. And telling them that different things. We're gonna promise you that you're gonna be a model, promise you that you're gonna get a job. They promised any and everything that they saw that this girl may have wanted. Well, you want to be a model? Oh, we got a modeling agency, and I was I think the darker skinned lady who looks like a model, she was promised to be a model, and she was met up with one of the top modeling agency head person or whatever, interviewed her. So she believed that these things were going to happen, and all they did, and I don't know if what it turned out to be at the very end, because I don't know her whole life story, but they took advantage of her. And some of these women, not all of them, which I didn't know as well, some of them, not all of them, were faxed out to his friends, in which they're making a list. So there's just so many layers to this that thank God they came out and we got a better understanding of what they went through. Now it's all about a campaign of constant support. Like I said, I'm making content just talking about them and saying I support them. Keep coming out, keep doing what you're doing. Release the names when you decide to release them. Whatever we can do, I'm there. Because we have got to get these voices of these women stronger so that these men are smoked out. They should not feel safe. These girls have not felt safe since they were teenagers, 13, 14, 15. We don't know how old the 13-year-old was before she got into this situation. She could have been 12. She could have been 11. But she was already turned out on them at 13 to go get her friends. Because of money, power. Tell a 13 or 14-year-old girl that your best friend is somebody who's been on television or film or the president of the United States. Who could they tell that would believe them? These people got people who will kill people. They're the head of militaries and Secret Service and all that shit. Snipers. Do you think a 13-year-old kid can wrap their head around that? Hell, a grown-ass woman can. So them not coming forth a year, 10 years, or ever is understandable. They don't want their family put through that ringer. They don't want to revisit something that they probably spent their entire lives trying to forget. But the ones who did come out, we celebrate you for coming out. And we got your back 1,000%. There's some more of these young women speaking and even trying, and we'll listen to it and I'll talk about it. But
President Trump, you have so much influence and power in this situation. Please use that influence and power to help us.
Please, President Trump, pass this bill and help us. Make us feel like our voices are finally being heard.
This is not just my story. It is about every survivor who carries invisible scars. It's about the weight we live with daily. It is about the families broken and the future stolen. So I ask you, President Trump and members of Congress, why do we continue to cover up sexual abuse and assault?
facts.
Who are we covering for? Let the public know the truth.
Mr. President Donald J. Trump, I am a registered Republican, not that that matters because this is not political. However, I cordially invite you to the Capitol to meet me in person so you can understand this is not a hoax. We are real human beings. This is real trauma.
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president.
What the hell was that? This is about these women. He always turns it back on him. See, like I said, the name of this episode of my show is Trump Has a Guilty Conscience, and the MAGA leadership are protecting him. I want you to understand something. If I've done nothing guilty, I haven't did anything wrong. None whatsoever. Then releasing these to help these young women would not be an issue. I would just release them. I mean, it should be that easy, right? I mean, if you realize that this is what happens, why would I have an issue that what happened? It happened. It's not a hoax. You got women right here saying that these things happen to them. Where's the hoax? I don't get it. I don't understand where he gets the hoax from. Just like Russia hoax, everything he wants you to kind of forget, and he wants his MAGA people to flip out on. He just say the hoax word 30 times, and 3 times click your heels and say the hoax word, and MAGA will just fall in line. And that's what he's expecting, fall in line. Well, there's MAGA people, MTG, Eric Bolling. They want these files, Donald Trump. He said, you keep giving them stuff in thousands of pages. But Donald Trump, those pages were already given out. The ones that you've given out are the same pages you gave out basically in that book that Pam Bondi had as a promotional tool to tell everybody, look, we brought all these influencers from the internet to show you that we got a booklet that shows all this shit happening. Say, okay, cool. Look through it. Same shit's already on the internet. So you released some shit that was already released. You just packaged it. So you thought, okay, MAGA's stupid enough, but the rest of us not? But then all of a sudden, it shocked them. MAGA, their brain grew 3 sizes bigger since the last time you tried to give them bullshit like this. And they're like, wait a minute, it's the same shit. And you're like, wait a minute, these people are getting smarter? That ain't right. Then they try to give you the same bullshit. You go out and say, if you're still talking about it, you're stupid. So you call the whole MAGA base stupid if they want something that you promised to give them. You know, that's tantamount to telling the kid, you know what, little Timmy, I'm going to get you some gifts for Christmas. Oh, really? Okay. All year you promised them these gifts. And then when Christmas comes, there's nothing under the tree. And then you're going to tell the kid, if you look at, you're stupid if you want gifts. I mean, what are gifts? I'm still here. You're still here. You got a tree. That's tantamount to what you're telling these people. Promise them the world and give them nothing. And they're supposed to just fall in line because you mentioned it's a hoax now. How is it a hoax that you campaigned on? You put millions of dollars in ads saying this is the truth. So what you're saying is that you lied to get into office. So the hoax was you saying that there was actually files that you was going to get for them. That was a hoax. So now you want to tell them, hey, there was no truth to what I said. Sorry. But we know there's truth to what you said and what you was fighting for. Because Michael Wolff knows, he interviewed the guy for hours. Even your little stooge, Steve Bannon, said he had 14, 15 hours of stuff. He mentioned shit. Then there was the lawyer, the one that got charged with doing it to one of these young girls too, but then she turned around and didn't say, maybe I made a mistake. She didn't say, no, it wasn't him. He came out and said, yeah, it's a list. And there's some good names on it, but Donald Trump's not on it. He said he saw the list as being the lawyer, Jeffrey Epstein, in 2008 or whatever it was. And he was his lawyer again this time coming around. So you were a lawyer for the dude who was a pedo. They got caught, and you helped him get this sweetheart of a deal alongside Alice Acosta, right? You helped him get this sweetheart of a deal. And then when he got charged again, you became his his lawyer again, after you knew when he got out, he continued doing it to kids. And you supported him again. Why would you be supporting this dude when you know he's guilty? Why? He came back out, and I'm like, look. Also, let me get this real quick. I think we need to give Alan Dershowitz some equal hate here. Because we keep on mentioning Alex Acosta, who gave the sweetheart deal. Alan Dershowitz is the one who got the sweetheart deal. And again, he was also said that he himself was a part of this ring and did something as well. And he also wrote inside this birthday party card that Donald Trump did write into as well. So he tries to go out and say that the girl exonerated him. She didn't. She just was getting sued by him. What these men do is sue these people to oblivion for mentioning their name, and then they turn around and say, maybe it wasn't. She didn't say he didn't do it. She just said maybe it wasn't him. And that was enough for the lawsuit to be dropped, and Alan Dershowitz to go out here and act like he had nothing to do with it. Why'd you represent the dude twice? After you knew he was a pedophile, you still represented him. Don't give me this shit that you're a lawyer. There's so many lawyers out there that did not know and would just fight for him just because they're fighting to find out the truth. You knew the truth, Alan Dershowitz. You knew what this man was capable of. And you represented him again after you knew he was wrong. This last time you represented him before he died. You went back to the well of this devious dude after knowing what he did and you being charged with doing the same thing alongside of him. It's just strange how when Donald Trump became president, this Alex Acosta dude becomes somebody in the White House on his administration team. Why would you hire a dude? Oh, I forgot. Didn't he also give the sweetheart deal to anybody and everybody that was associated with Jeffrey Epstein, that you could not charge them in the future, and just made this a state case instead of a federal one? Didn't he do that for you and all the people that were in cahoots with this dude, friends of him? Now you kind of understand the connection. Why would he hire this dude? This Alex Acosta guy. Why would you hire him? These people that were in the circle of Jeffrey Epstein, doing shit for Jeffrey Epstein, sweetheart deals for Jeffrey Epstein, just all of a sudden, the dude that Donald Trump says, oh, I thought he wasn't a good person. I didn't like him. Yet you're going to hire the people who gave him great deals and let him out on the street to do the same thing again? So you have no morality. And you have no, usually you want to fill somebody's tank up with some kind of facts. You're empty. There is nothing of valid or validity that comes out of his fucking mouth. So you hired the dude that gave the pedophile a sweetheart deal and exonerated, or better yet, said that you're not going to charge. Who says that you're not going to charge the people who did it to the other children? When you already got one person, you give him a sweetheart deal that he can go home, and while he was on the sweetheart deal, he was still raping children. And Alan Dershowitz can't tell me he didn't know it, because Alan Dershowitz, you actually went to his crib many a times. People said they've seen you there. So were you coming there just to be his lawyer? Oh, you went to parties just because he's your lawyer? I don't trust these people. I don't. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There is a fucking 5-alarm fire over this shit. And there is a reason why they're hiding it. Alan Dershowitz literally said there is a list. He said it. You can find it. It's online somewhere. He said there is a list. And he was like, well, Donald Trump's not on it. Then we find out later, Donald Trump's on it. So you can't trust Alan Dershowitz. He literally said he saw the list and Donald Trump wasn't on it. So if you saw this list that they now say wasn't a list, but then they said, well, they said at first it was a list, and then they said it wasn't a list. Then they said people are stupid for this list. And then they went on and started doing shit, bombing Iran and everything else, and, entering states and all this other shit just to try to get people off the fact that they're hiding pedophiles. I'm just saying. I'm supporting the women whatever way I can. My voice, I will keep talking about them. I will not let it go. One lady said specifically, and I took it to heart. She said, we can't just let this go with the news cycle. So there will not be a day that I won't talk about this. You can count me in to mention this every day until they get justice. Every day I will mention Jeffrey Epstein and these files to release them. Every day, every video was started by, I don't care if I'm going out to eat, I'm literally say that, you know, whatever verbiage I come up with, where are the files, Donald Trump? Where are the files? Epstein files must be released. And then I'll talk about everything else. But from here on out, until they receive justice, I will never let it go. If you get tired of hearing it, you can see your way out. I am going to keep saying it until they get justice. It has been decades that these women should have received this a long time ago. Our society somehow protects these assholes and act like the people who get harmed are the ones who are a problem. No, the problems are these predators, and I will keep saying it. I will keep their names in my fucking mouth from here until they get justice or until my voice is silent. And that is till death does it part somehow. That's the only way I'm going to stop talking about them. It's the only way I'm going to stop supporting them. And I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. These women deserve justice. They deserve to be heard. They deserve to be trusted until proven otherwise. And I shall do so. Everybody should see their day in court. That's my 2 cents on it. So we're going to hear, it shocked me. And one of the things, we're going to hear one video. It's going to be kind of long. It's going to be like, I pushed 2 things together. Eric Bolling had Marjorie Taylor Greene on his show after she spoke. And how can I say, it was like, it hurt to just listen to her, but she was on point, and I can't believe I'm saying this shit, but it is what it is. I tell the truth. She was on point, 100%. All right. Let's go ahead and listen to her interview on Eric Bolling's show. And I don't like him either, but it is what it is. If it ever shows up. Did it show up? No, it didn't. It got no audio, huh? Oops. We'll fix that. Give me a second. Technical difficulties. I don't know why that doesn't work. Huh. That's weird. It has audio, and I have it up already. And for some reason, it's not showing up. Boy, if it ain't one thing, it's another with this damn thing. It should be up right now, but it's not. Huh. Let's take it back and transition it again. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but it needs to act right.
Shame does not fall on these brave, courageous women. The shame falls on every single person that coldly turned a blind eye to their abuse. The shame falls on every single person that enabled it. The shame falls on every single person that took money to continue it. And the shame falls on the people in power over the past several decades that protected the monster, Jeffrey Epstein, and his cabal that continued a nightmare.
Trump obviously would like this to go away for whatever reason. I don't know why. I don't know why we were promised the whole Epstein list fully.
His name is in them, bruh. That's why. How is it hard for them to add 1 + 1 and come up with 2? Now, I know you can't say that he did something. We don't know that 100%, but we do know his name is in it. And a person that has his or her name in it and you know you didn't do anything, let it be free. I was just hanging out there. We was just chilling. We went and played golf. We had food. We had dinner. We was just having a good time. We didn't do anything facetious. Go ahead. See it all. Have a good day. Have a good time with it. No, you get government people spending like 100 of them spending 24 hours a day straight to literally take your name out of this shit, or at least recognize your name, where it is, what context it is, and then get back to you with the information. And after you get back with information, all of a sudden you're going to go speak to Ghislaine Maxwell, Todd Blanche, and then all of a sudden she gets some kind of little free reign. And don't forget the fact that she told one, and it's out there, that one of her roommates or inmates in prison, she was talking to one of her inmates, and another person heard it. Again, hearsay, whatever you want to call it. She heard that she had some dirt on Donald Trump, and she was going to try and get out of prison via Joe Biden. Merrick Garland didn't listen to it, didn't give her no kind of play, and she ends up using this same information to get Donald Trump to do whatever he wants to do. All she had to do was say, Donald Trump's always been nice to me, and that's all it is. It's no big deal. He's always been a good person. I really liked him. And then after this 9-minute interview where she somewhat exonerates Donald Trump, she transferred to Club Fed. I mean, if they don't look guilty, then tell us, why would you send her there? She's a criminal. She did it. She went to court for it. She had her lawyers, jury of her peers, convicted for 20 years or so. She suspended her time in prison. Why would she be let go with this 9-hour interview that produced nothing new? It's too easy, ladies and gentlemen. Why they don't get it? Like I said, it's insanity that these people, even when the truth bites them in the ass, they look at it and be like, is that the truth? I'm like, yeah, you're bleeding, fool. That's the truth. It's just bitching ass. Could you please admit it? Oh, I admit that it's weird, but I don't know why it's weird. You just got to take the win, even though it's coming from a dipshit.
And now we're getting dribs and drabs, highly redacted stuff and stuff we've already seen before as sort of a placation. I don't know why. I don't speculate. Do you expect you're going to get a little pushback from the administration?
If it was Joe Biden, this fool would have speculated up and down everywhere. But he doesn't want to speculate. With Joe Biden, they were speculating left and right. Everything Joe Biden did. Oh, he burped. Oh, he must have burping disease. He must have this, that, and the other. Oh, I think he was meddling with little kids. They said he was the one that was a pedophile because he kissed his own little granddaughter on the head at the father's funeral, which was his son, Bo's funeral. They made that into being a pedophile when Donald Trump has been charged with it by a 13-year-old girl, and they all act like they ain't never seen this case that was brought against Donald Trump but dropped because the girl disappeared. Like I'm speaking some other fucking language in America. This is straight English. But he don't want to speculate on Donald Trump. But this fool speculated up and down on an election that Donald Trump easily lost. Speculated up and down on Joe Biden and Joe Biden and his son. And he, over and over again, with Hunter, I don't know what they did with Bo. I don't know if they say anything about Bo at all, but Hunter Biden tried to put him in jail for signing on a thing that he wasn't a drug dealer. Just a little check mark you're going to jail for. Donald Trump don't grab women by their vaginas and said he's going to do it. Oh, it's locker room talk. It's fucking unfathomable that these people can't see just because it has an R behind its name. I'm a Democrat. If any Democrat took part in this shit, I want them under the jail, no matter whether I voted for them or not. I didn't know if they did it. And once I find out they did and they get charged with it, I'm good to let them go. Fuck the D part, meaning the Democrat shit. Fuck all that. I care about the children more than I care about a party. Again, this whole thing of Republicans, they fall in line. It's hard for them to question that either one of them can be bad. That's weird. Very cultish.
For getting involved in this?
Oh, I got a lot of pushback. I got phone call after phone call last night. They didn't want me to sign the discharge petition. They want to focus on the oversight investigation. They hate Thomas Massey more than they can hate any Democrat, which makes no sense to me. And they don't want to work with Democrats at all. But again, I'll say this. I'm not blaming President Trump whatsoever. I'm actually blaming some of his staff around him. Today, he called it a hoax while these women were speaking out and they were saying, we're not a hoax. We're human beings. And I think we need to see something turn around there. I'll say this.
Here's the thing that bothers me with this. To say that Donald Trump is not responsible because he got people around him telling him certain things. Do you understand how you must think Donald Trump is dumb as fuck? I don't care how many people I got around me. If they came to me and told me something that I knew not to be fact, that person would no longer be around me. And if I don't have the wherewithal to discern whether this person is factual or not, because all I got to do is take their information, do a little research, and find out, oh, he just lied to me, you're out. Why the hell do you sit here and say, I don't blame him for regurgitating lies, because he doesn't know how to tell the difference between lies. So if he's that stupid, why the hell is he president? If he can get somebody next to him to tell him something that ain't true, that he doesn't do his own homework to find out, that you don't have to sit here and draw him a tic-tac-toe, collage and shit on how to go from A to B to C, and you got to draw him this shit to figure shit out. If you got to do that for him, he shouldn't be president. Hell, he shouldn't be the president of anything. Nothing. Not even Little Rascals. There's no way in hell. How can you do something and you don't know the simplistic shit? This man, you gonna tell me he gets lied to, so his people around him. What? Donald Trump knows Jeffrey Epstein. He knows. He even said himself, well, he took like people from my spa. And so I knew he was kind of creepy. So now they're saying he's creepy. He said that he was kind of creepy or weird or whatever. And that's why they're no longer friends. And they want the documents from your no longer friend, creepy guy that you said was kind of weird and creepy. He stole your people from where you worked at. And somehow people are crazy because they want you to give all the information of the friend that you said it was weird to begin with. That's why you no longer were friends with him. So how does this add up, Donald Trump? How do they gather in their heads? The man who said he grabbed women by their vaginas. The man that said he walks up to women and just kissed them. He just wanted some Tic Tac so he could make sure when he walks up to this woman, when he kisses her, his breath as well. Make sure that the same man that said he snuck on like Nancy, I forgot from like E.T. or whatever, like a bitch, he said, and he tried to F her even though he knew she was married. Having unprotected sex with a porn star while his wife was at home with their little child. Grabbing Eugene Carroll and sexually assaulting her, which the judge said raping her. That guy, you're saying that, oh, I don't think he'd be capable of it. Say what? So you telling me you believe these women, but you don't believe all the 30-something women that said Donald Trump did it to them? This is where I can't gather how they add up and shit. She's in there like, these women need to be protected and we need to do it, but I don't think Trump had nothing to do with it. But how many times? I want to know, how many does it take? Like when they say like back in the day, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll? How many accusations of rape, of groping women, of sexual assault, of pedophilia does a man have to have before this fucking ice breaks and you realize you're in the midst of one? I don't know about you, but in my lifetime, I've been around a lot of men in my life. I know none of them to be pedos. And if I did, I wouldn't hang out with them. I would report him. And you telling me he hung out with the most egregious that we know of in American history? They were homies and he didn't recognize it? How blind do you have to fucking be? You come into his crib a bunch of times, bunch of kids walking around, and it ain't no big kid's birthday party. Bunch of grown men dancing and having a good time with children, and you thought that was just what? Chuck E. Cheese night? On an island in Manhattan, all over the fucking world, in Russia, in Asia. You just thought this shit was just a regular ass party? I mean, come on, lady. How much fucking information do you need? Even though she is coming around to our side to somewhat, she's still batshit crazy. And like, I don't blame him. Why not? Why not? I ain't saying that you got a person's name that said he did something, but he was in the midst of it. in the midst. And you have to be dense as fuck to not recognize. Even Donald Trump said out of his own mouth, he likes the ladies. Some of them younger than what he I guess that he just said some of them younger women. Donald Trump told a 10-year-old and did like 8 years or less, or 8-year-old and 10 years or less, that he was going to be dating her. So he would tell an 8-year-old that 10 years from now, I'm going to be trying to, have coitus with you. An 8-year-old. Even if it was joking, who jokes like that? I've never in my life heard somebody say that to a child. The dude who talked about his daughter, like he would have sex with her. He literally said, what do you guys have in common? This was like on Oprah or something show, whatever show it was, a talk show. What do you guys have in common? Or was it like The View? And this fool said, I was going to say sex. How did you and your daughter have sex in common? You don't know what she does with sex? Or do you? It was just the oddest thing to say. And all this information, you still can't add 1 + 1 and come up with 2.
He can prove it's a hoax by releasing it. Let us decide if it's a hoax or not. I mean, I love everything they're doing. I'm MAGA through and through. Before, I don't know. I'm original OG. Bannon calls me original gangster MAGA. I am. But
I hate how they use our terms. Original OG. You don't even like black people, yet you use our fucking terms. I can't stand that shit. Like, leave our terms out your fucking mouth.
You gotta give MAGA this. Yeah. You gotta give it. We spent years saying you can't put a trans parade in the middle of children's, in the middle of a street on a Sunday with children involved. You can't go to kids' school story hour and have a trans.
This shit right here gets me, yo. Sorry, but I gotta break off on this a little bit. How the hell did this man go from talking about we need to have information about pedophiles and equate that to trans people? I want you to give me one case where you caught a trans person doing something to kids. I mean, I ain't saying that it ain't out there, but I haven't seen it. I haven't heard about it. Nothing. Haven't seen it. But you know who I have seen? Catholic priests. You know who I have seen? Police officers. You know who I have seen? To catch a predator, I saw a bunch of motherfuckers. Law-abiding citizens, supposedly. Sheriffs, doctors, lawyers. I've seen it all. Majority of them that I saw were white men. Just go back and watch. The show's still on, but you could probably get it online somewhere. To Catch a Predator. Seen a lot of them. A lot. I haven't seen one of them that they caught to be a trans person walking through the door. And this man said, we went on for years talking about the trans people. We didn't want to have them in front of the pictures and stuff like that, in front of, in front of schools, in front of parades and all this other shit. And I'm like, and it's pretty much the same. He backs off a little bit, said maybe it's not as bad. Sir, it is nowhere near in the same fucking ball game. You talking about men who rape children, and you talking about men or women who dress and feel comfortable dressing as the opposite sex that they weren't born as, but has always felt they were. How is that harming anybody but them? Because they come out, it's stupid people like them that beat them, kill them, and many of you closeted ones are out here raping them too. And you're going to sit here and make it seem like they're the bad people? You took the victim of one thing, which were these girls, and then went after the victims and said the people who are trans, they're the victim in this situation. They're just living their fucking life. How the fuck do you equate a pedophile with somebody who was born a certain way, and the only person that they're hurting is themselves, and they're basically hurting themselves by being themselves because these people outside want to hurt them? You know how hard it has to be to come out when you know everybody around you wants to just beat your ass or call you names just because you live in your fucking truth? How the fuck do you compare those two? These people are slow people. They're fucking sick in the head. And every once in a while, just like a clock, they can be right twice. But in this situation, they're wrong every last fucking time when they try to compare those two. It's sickening that you would even bring that up in this conversation of men harming children. You bring up these people who are trans and that's the way they feel. They ain't harmed not one person. They're the ones getting harmed. 2 victims you brought up. And more than likely, the predators look more like you, Eric Bolin. They look more like you. You're tired of them always trying to put people in a bad light that you don't have any evidence to prove. This man said, I can't speculate on Donald Trump, but you can speculate on trans people. You ain't got one story where a trans person did something to a kid. There's a shit ton of stories of them getting their asses beat by your types of people, my type who look like me too, and children who learn from people like you. They're out here harming these kids, making fun of them. Can't stand them, man.
Pointing fingers about doing the exact same thing, or maybe even not as bad to some of the communities.
Bad.
MTG, before I go, you have 4 or 5 R signatures on this. Do you think this petition will get 218 like you need?
Well, I just want to finish up on one thing.
Yeah.
It's not a hoax because Jeffrey Epstein is a convicted pedophile.
Thanks.
That takes away the whole hoax things. It's not a hoax. It's not a lie. And on that note, Eric, every Republican should be able to sign on to this. And that's the real hoax, that they're afraid to sign on to it because somebody who is a real coward from one of the Trump admin officials came out and called this a hot.
I love how he puts President Clinton up with this guy when Donald Trump, it has more pictures than anybody. And I don't care that the fact that Clinton's there. If he did something, get his ass too while he's still alive. I have no problem with it. I voted for him twice, but I didn't know he was anything like this, if that is true. And if his name is on that saying he did something, there's a picture of him, fuck him too. I have no party line with this shit. This is humanity. This is human beings saying what's right and what's wrong. Fuck law, it's wrong. If we're not going to protect children, what the fuck are we in this for? I'm highly protective of mine. And when I think about young kids, they're all of ours. If anybody's harming a child, I don't care if it's their own parent, I got issue with it. We all should. We can collectively agree on that, I would hope. But obviously, fuck not.
Hostile act against the Trump administration. I take very big offense to that because I put my life and my fortune on the line fighting to get that man elected. And whoever said that has their job because of people like me that fought all the horrible Republicans that stabbed him in the back after January 6th. And I was one of those that fought on the front lines and said, no, he is the leader of our party. He is the president, and we're going to make him president again. Well, that coward attacked me and attacked anybody else and called it a hostile act. The hostile act was Jeffrey Epstein raping 14-year-old girls.
Facts. That's all that need to be said. The hostile act was Jeffrey Epstein raping 14-year-old girls. That's it. And me and her agree on that. But it's so weird how we agree but disagree at the same time. She agrees with everything that I believe in a sense, but she kind of she tries to carve out Donald Trump. I elected a pedophile or a possible pedophile, a girl accused him of it, back in the office because I did everything I can for him. But what if he is one, Marjorie? What if he is in the list and that he is one? It makes sense why he doesn't want to release it. Because if it has nothing to do with him, why is he holding it? Donald Trump don't care about nobody but himself. If this list has Bill Clinton in it, if this list has Alan, Dershowitz in it, if this list has Donald Trump's own son in it, this man won't give 2 shits to return that list and say, yep, they did it. They did it. But Donald Trump can't exempt himself from it. That's why he won't release it. You know it and I know it. This man never stands up for anybody. He throws everybody under the bus that's not loyal to him. If Donald Trump's name was not in this list, that shit would be in everybody's hands. His name is on this list, in this list, multiple times because that was his homie. Like I said, I got homies that I would do anything for. Anything. And I don't have their picture anywhere in my house or even on my phone for that matter. If I want to see him or talk to him, I'll tell him I'm coming over, or I'll get on the phone and call him. But I don't have an 8x10. That's a big ass picture. An 8x10. And he's got an even smaller picture of Donald Trump on his desk. You got an 8x10 somewhere. You got a smaller picture with him and his wife, or girlfriend at the time when you hooked him up. All in your house, just a bunch of pictures of these people. Was he highly affectionate? He was a predator. He didn't give two shits about nobody but himself and who he was connected to. But he had care for Donald Trump. Ask yourself why. You might find some answers, MTG. And like I said, what if he was in on all of this? You just elected him back into office, you just said. And I want to understand one thing. This is for Marjorie Taylor Greene and for all those who profess Donald Trump possibly can't be a part of this. I want you to watch this. It's almost 5-minute video of the dude that you decide to put back into power. Most powerful man in the world. This is the guy that you don't believe has nothing to do with it. But there's so much evidence out there that he's this type of guy. Let's see. It is not showing up. Where's it at? President. That's weird how it doesn't show up anymore. I'm about sick of this damn thing. All right, for some reason it's not showing. We'll see if it pops up again this time. Come on. I'm gonna have to upload this software again because for some reason it's not showing up on my end. All right, let me try it again. It says it's there, but let me play it, see if it happens then.
Women are very special. I think it's a very special time.
Come on.
Because a lot of things are coming out, and I think that's good for our society. And I think it's very, very good for women. And I'm very happy a lot of these things are coming out. And I'm very happy it's being exposed.
We just have to listen to it. It's not showing for some reason. It will not show his video.
Yeah, that's it, with the gold. I'm going to use some kickbacks just in case I start kissing her. Yeah, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet.
What the fuck is going on here?
Hey, when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want. Grab them by the pussy.
Are you saying that what you said on that bus 11 years ago, that you did not actually kiss women without consent or grope women without consent?
I have great respect for women. Nobody has more respect for women than I do.
So for the record, you're saying you never did that?
Things that frankly, you hear these things are said. And I was embarrassed by it, but I have tremendous respect for women.
Have you ever done those things?
Have respect for me. And I will tell you, no, I have not. And I will tell you that I'm going to make our
he just started grabbing me and trying to kiss me, and then I realized that he was putting his hand up
I'm
my
gonna put
skirt.
my face up. If you're gonna listen just to the audio, I'll just put my face
And
back up.
I'm talking to my friend who I'm sitting to and across from on my left side. I'm very clear on this. This is the vivid part for me. So the person on my right, who unbeknownst to me at that time was Donald Trump, put their hands up my skirt. He did touch my vagina through my underwear.
Wow.
Absolutely. Donald sat me right next to him. He placed me right next to him. And that was the time when he started to go for it and had his hand on my leg,
There we go.
moving forward, and went for it, touching my private parts, pushing me up against the wall, forcing me to kiss, forcing a kiss on me, and again with his hands all over my body and up again my dress with the hands.
And it was at that time where he turned to me and embraced me and gave me a kiss on the lips. I remember him coming out, and the first thing he did was just smile and give me a warm embrace with another kiss. And I remember immediately thinking, what does he think this is?
Yeah, we heard the whole tape.
You've never seen it. Oh, in 1992, we went like this.
They laughed
One
at
came out recently where I was sitting alone in some club. I go to sit alone. I go over to I was sitting alone by myself. And then I went, oh.
When I saw him at this debate, and Anderson Cooper asked him, have you ever kissed a woman without consent? And he said, no. I just think all those feelings rushed back to me. I felt that it was my responsibility to write something at that point.
Why didn't she write what she said happened before she wrote the story? Why didn't she put it in the story? The story would have been one of the big stories. I was the big star of The Apprentice. Why didn't she do it 12 years ago? 12 years ago. She's writing the story. Now think of this. Think of this. She's right. She's a liar. She is a liar.
He then grabbed my shoulder and began kissing me again very aggressively.
All of them.
He placed his hand on my breast. I pulled back and walked to another part of the room. He then walked up, grabbed my hand, and walked me into the bedroom. I walked out. He then turned me around and said, let's lay down and watch some telly. He put me in an embrace, and I tried to push him away. I pushed his chest to put space between us, and I said, come on, man, get real. He repeated my words back to me. Get real, as he began thrusting his genitals.
Every woman lied when they came forward to hurt my campaign. Total fabrication. The events never happened. Never.
Yeah. The events that never happened, ever. I call BS. They did happen. And there's no proof on his side that he can prove that he didn't do it. He said it. He literally said he does this. So women come out that say you did exactly what you say you do. And all of a sudden they're the liars, even though there's tape with you saying that this is what you do. I mean, how much information do you need? If I told you I'm going to slap you and I slap you, I slapped you. I mean, you can't go around saying, I never slap anybody. I just said I slap people. You're going to tell me I've never done it? If I said I slap people, then why would you say it? If something you've never done, why would you mention it to someone that you've done it? What that was a confession of what he did. And he thought he was behind closed doors talking to a guy who would understand doing something like that, that would think of him as like some great God, that he was able to do something like that. That you're famous, they'll let you do it. We all know famous people get away with a lot of shit. Famous people get away, for the most part. We've seen them, football players, punch the living shit out of their girlfriends or wives in elevators or whatever, to the point where they're knocked out. One of them dragged her out of the fucking elevator so he wouldn't leave evidence. We've seen it. And for the most part, he got away with it. We've seen that. And Donald Trump told you he grabs women by their vagina and they let you get away with it. And then he comes out and women say, hey, he did it to me. He did it to me. He did it to me. And they have details of how it happened. And this man just said, they lied. And they're all laughing. This is why women won't come out, because these people, he's roasting the women that he hurt. You can't tell me he didn't do this. You can't tell me that Donald Trump did not do what these women say he did. I don't trust Donald Trump as far as I can throw the planet, and I can't throw that bitch nowhere. To me, Donald Trump is the guilty one. These girls did not lie. Donald Trump is proven to be a liar, so why would we believe him? It is up to him to come up with something, in my eyes, to say he didn't do this. And so far, he has nothing. There's evidence to prove that somebody did something in that Epstein house because this man kept records. You know he did. Nobody's going to give you money and hold secrets if they think that you ain't got nothing against them. Why are they giving you shit tons of money? You don't have an investment license. You don't have nothing to do with investing. You have everything to do with hiding secrets for people. And why would they bring you the secrets? Because you're the guy that provided all of the dark shit that they needed. Children, different locations, a whole ass island so they can get away and nobody gets to see it or hear these children scream. You provided all of the deviant shit he did, this being Epstein. And Donald Trump was cool homies with the dark, evil person. And you're going to tell me none of that shit washed off on him. You guys were homies. Y'all weren't just cool. Homies. He said you were his best friend for over 15 years. I'm sorry. You can't escape this shit. None whatsoever. You could try. And you got all these reporters out here that are too bitch to say anything because they don't want to get sued to oblivion. You're guilty of something. What we know or don't know, that's different. But nobody acts like this that's innocent. If you said to me right now that you was going to release tapes or whatever of something that happened, that I may have been at a party and something happened, please release it. Because I ain't did nothing. And if I did do something, hold me responsible. I don't know of doing anything, but if I did do something, hold me responsible. Hello? Why would you sit here and not want to be held responsible? You did the dirt. Time to pay the time for it eventually. And that's the problem. He don't want to pay time. He don't want nothing to happen to him, only to everybody else. So I say this, and before I end up getting up out of here, I say that I am for the women, 100%. I know Donald Trump did something. I don't know how far, but Donald Trump's hands aren't clean when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein was going to rat him out for money laundering for Russian oligarchs. If I was the government, I would check out that $40 million home that he bought that he didn't have the money for, that Jeffrey Epstein was going to buy for $30 million. Find that home and find out who had it. You can go back and see who bought it, when they bought it, because supposedly it was sold for $90 million after Donald Trump bought it for $40. No house goes up $50 million in price in the little shorter time that he did. He never lived in it. It just went up $50 million in price. Then check out how much money Donald Trump pocketed at that time. You'll start to see Donald Trump has been in the Russian pocket forever. We now have a Russian spy, which is Donald Trump, as the president. Why do I say this? That's when he was a person laundering money for Russians back in the day. You can't tell me you got in that deep with them. They don't have no shit on you. Donald Trump don't say nothing because the Russian people got all kind of info on him. Doing something like that, they got your name and your number. If that's exactly what Michael Wolff said Jeffrey Epstein said to him, and that's the reason why he didn't like Trump anymore, they didn't get together anymore, because he stole a house from him and he knew there was money laundering, and that's when he was going to rat Donald Trump out. And that's when Donald Trump supposedly ratted him out about the children. How did you automatically know about the children, Donald Trump, last minute? How did you know about it? How did you rat him out? This is what he said. This is what Jeffrey Epstein said to Michael Wolff, that he said too much because Michael Wolff came out with a book that mentioned stuff with Donald Trump and all this other shit and said that might as well, it was an article or a book. And he said, I may have said too much. And as soon as he came back, he got arrested for this shit that he did for these children. How did Donald Trump know that was a real thing? How could he turn him in so quick? Wouldn't you have to do some intel for that, Donald Trump? Oh, you just turned him in because you already knew about it. Answer me. ask these questions. Ask these questions and get answers from him and other people. How did you know to turn in Jeffrey Epstein? How did you know what he was doing? I thought you was oblivious to it. Again, these are simple fucking questions. And they're never going to be answered until we put enough pressure on these people to say, you know what? These women deserve it 100% to have their voices heard. And the louder we get, the stronger we become. And the stronger we become, the less they can hide. These women need to feel empowered. And if they do feel like we got their back, millions of us, a whole army of us for them, they just might come out with these names, which we can get on their ass as fast as possible. We should protect them. They needed people to protect them then. And these people had so much money and influence and so many people who do dirt for them that these girls were scared. And now that they're women, we got to revisit that and say, us men and women who want to see these people who harm children and more children than them, they've been getting away with it. So they've been still doing it. Jeffrey Epstein got arrested and was still doing it because he had connections. These people have not been arrested. You think their little freakiness of doing this shit just stopped? No. They just gone to other people who do it. We don't stop them, we can't stop it. Or even put a dent in this shit happening to children being trafficked and all that. So we got to do it. We got to stand up. So I'm going to start making videos immediately. Whereas short, pass it along, make it a chain of supporting these people. Make the voices loud. Make it so that it goes viral so these people recognize that we ain't fucking around. We got their back 100%. I said what I said. And for those people who are out here thinking that you're going to scare us with lawsuits and all this other shit you want to say, fine, do what you got to do. I ain't scared of that shit, none whatsoever. Do what you got to do. I have said things on here that I believe based off the facts that I found. And some of them may be even a stretch, but the reality is I'm sick of those being protected that should not. And there's no way all these women are coming out and having very similar stories and not knowing each other. That they're the liar when you have no story to tell on how it's not true. Where were you when it happened? Do you know when it happened? Things of that nature. Release the evidence if you got nothing to hide. That's all I'm saying. You guys have a great night. I appreciate all my members being here. I appreciate y'all, the donations, everything I appreciate. I'll be back here tomorrow with the same thing, facts. Like I said, I won't keep their names. I ain't going to say their names personally because I don't want anything happening to them. But the women and the girls who were harmed, raped by these men, these horrific human beings, and women, because Ghislaine is not a man, they need to be put out on Front Street. And they need to get whatever's coming to them. And I don't care what. When this happened, when the priests were doing it, you saw these priests taking their own lives. If you are one of these people out here, jump in front of it. Do what you got to do. If that's what you got to do to get out of it, start falling like flies. We don't give a fuck. But we need to start chasing them 100% and get the truth. No more hiding them. No money should be able to hide them. Facts are facts. So I'm going to leave it at that. Because why? Because I speak facts. Straight facts. No chaser. Fuck your feelings.